Hello, folks, and welcome back. That was a bit odd. So this review will be a two-part review. I'll end up putting a link for the first portion. Um, yeah, for some reason the server went down for a moment there. Not entirely sure why, um, but it shows that all the servers are fine now. Um, Actually, I don't even see anybody. So people might be logging back in right now. Again, not sure if I just talked about it, but the ability where you can minimize that. If you don't want that on your screen, you can do that. You can adjust your chat box if you want. You know, a lot of other games, they didn't make it so it was that easy to sit there and adjust the other frames in the game. So it makes the screen pretty cluttered. And one of the games that I gotta talk about is that like Neverwinter. I really liked Neverwinter. Because of like the control with the mouse. You're viewing with your mouse, so wherever you would move your mouse, that's the direction you're looking at. Now the problem is that a lot of their stuff, they had a bunch of stuff just all cluttered on the screen, so you couldn't really see much of what was going on. Um, and to my knowledge, they didn't really come up with an effective way to really minimize the stuff down or anything. So you just see all that stuff just piled up on the screen, and it's like you don't want to stare at that all the time. Some people like to look at all the different menus and whatnot, but I personally, I don't like to have them up there the entire time while I'm trying to do stuff. So like this right here, I know that I'm supposed to go over here, so I'll minimize that because I don't want to look at it right now. I just want to go ahead and fight some stuff. But as you see, I'm fighting this like poisonous lizard right here. Uh, but to say, like graphical wise, this game is really amazing. Uh, the chat system, well, that's the raid info. You got your social right here. So you got all your friends that are online. As you see, I got one, but he's offline right now. Um, you get your block list for anyone you don't want to listen to, and then family is for that RPG element of when you build a house. I'm not sure if I have it in my previous portion, but it showed a character ran up to a tree and was able to chop the tree down. And after they chop the tree down, they literally just get like a pile of lumber, which they carry in a knapsack like on the back of the character when they get back to the city. And basically, what they do is they can store up those materials like at their I don't think they're called a bank in this game, but they can store it up at their bank and essentially stockpile materials to build their house with and to start their family. So that's a really interesting RPG element that they have in the game. A lot of MMOs promise it, and we have yet to see it happen in them. But again, I'd say probably for this game, I do have to customer service wise, I do have to drop it 1 star, merely because I wasn't able to get in contact with anyone about the graphical error. But I mean, other than that, though, that shouldn't be a deterrent for the rest of this game because this game is really amazing. And since it was released in Korea prior to America, it gave it a good buffer zone so that a lot of the bugs and glitches were probably taken out during that time. So, fortunately for us, when we come and we see our beta, this game has already been really nicely polished on the other end over there, and that helps us. So, one thing I'm going to show you right down here, you see this percentage right here is your experience, which is the yellow bar going right across the bottom. Excuse me. And then you also have these labor points right here. Now, labor points are used for your professions, and in order to gather materials, such as like flowers for herbalism, to gather wood or iron ore, and then you have to expend labor points. And it's the same thing with when you're actually building stuff, you're creating stuff Look at this fauna. This looks really nice. I'm sorry, but it's just like how realistic it looks when you just brush into the fauna and then it just like gets knocked back like that. Excuse me. And you see this run right here, this is a construction zone. So this is a small construction zone, and what it does is it provides it so that you can put a small instance house in the area. They have different ones ranging up different sizes, so it's a really good thing for the RPG enthusiasts that can enjoy an MMOs. They can do that. Excuse me. So you do have your little numbers on the map here, and again, I wish I could just turn off these arrows and I would just follow the icons on my map instead. You know, just a thing to look at if it's not available yet. Other than that, I'd say this game's really awesome, and again, I love the idea of gliding. Not flying, but gliding, because then what that does is it makes it so when people are in a PvP zone, they can't just fly over an area, they have to come into contact with each other some way or another. Now, if you do not want to, you know, like if you want to recall to another area, you know, basically your Hearthstone in this game, if you don't want to get, if you're trying to get away and you're in the middle of a fight, you can quickly just hit that and you can go back to wherever you set your recall at, so that way you don't have to deal with it. But you know, I just think it's pretty awesome how they have it set up where it's, you can't just like fly over an entire zone and avoid everybody, because what that does is it increases player interaction, and that's, to be honest, when World of Warcraft made it so that every zone can be flown over, there's a good side to it and there's a bad side. The good side was you were able to get places a lot quicker. Bad side to it, it almost completely neglected any type of player interaction with each other in the game, because when you're leveling, you're usually just focused on leveling and you're not grouping up with a bunch of different people and stuff. You're usually just focusing on trying to level as fast as you can. And now that they made it so you can fly at, you know, your certain levels and stuff, you just fly over the entire zones. It's completely, like, you know, taking out the entire portion of player interaction at that point, which is really unfortunate. But I mean, they had to do it at some point, I guess, for World of Warcraft, that is. But oh, and it looks like there is a slight cooldown on my glider. It's like maybe 30 seconds or something, I guess. I just love using it a lot. But like one area that I was in on the previous little zone on the map, they had this giant mining area where you can climb all the way to the top of this track area. And what I did is I jumped and I glided right off of it, and you can just see me gliding across the entire, like probably near half the map. I glided all the way to the town on the map. But again, this game I would highly recommend for any person that likes an MMORPG, and even for people that are new to them, they can go ahead and try this, because you know, they do give you the ability that if you want, you can exchange, you can reset your skill points and your skill trees. Oh, and that's another thing I want to show. Skill trees. Yes, we have skill trees. So many games have been neglecting this, and they take out their skill trees and stuff to make it more quote-unquote easier for the player. And to be honest, I really hate those. And I know hate is a very strong word, and that's why I'm using it. I love my skill trees, and when you make a game and you can only pick 5 or 6 abilities based on your level and stuff, you can only pick up to 5, 6 abilities. I'm gonna be honest, that was a downer for me, and when they took away the skill tree, I might have cried just a little bit. But yes, you have skill trees in this. Now, the first one you pick up at the beginning of the game here, which is my class type is Shadowplay, which is basically your rogue, your assassin, etc. The next skill type that you pick up is your weapon. Now, my primary weapon is my bow, so I picked up archery. And then when you hit level 15, you pick up a third skill tree, which I picked up Witchcraft because it has a lot of CC in it. Um, but as you can see, like you got your passives down here for each of those, and then you got your active abilities which you use in combat right up here. So depending on what level your skill tree is, that depends on what you can pick. Now, this also tells you right here how many skills you have out of the tree out of the total number of skills in that tree. So Shadow Play, I have 3 out of 18. Archery, I have 6 out of 18, and Witchcraft, I have 1 out of 18, which I just picked up Witchcraft, and the first skill I picked up was the Insidious Whisper, which again is Fear, which if I combo it right, it lasts for 4.6 seconds. That's a long time when it comes to PvP. But my Archery, I got most of my skills in there because what I'm usually doing is I'm usually sneaking up on my opponent, and I'm taking them out from a distance here. And not sure if I talked about my Leomorph, but you can actually buy battle armor and stuff to put on your mounts, which is pretty cool. And each race have their own mount, so that's pretty awesome. Alright, but again, just want to say the landscapes I've come across in this game are really amazing, really fleshed out, and they look nice and vibrant. Graphics, 5 out of 5. Story, they have those cinematics on the main quest that really that beg you to ask for more, that you want to know what's going on. Again, story, I give that another 5 out of 5. Customer service, I'll do a 4 out of 5, merely because usually they'll have some sort of forum, and I'm gonna be honest, I didn't go into the forum to check the bug thing. But a lot of what games have been doing now a lot is that you can just put /bug or /feedback or /report or anything, and they just didn't have it in the game. So I thought that was a little downer for a moment there. And speaking of bugs, I've really only had one bug. Again, since this was released in Korea prior, this was a MMORPG exclusive to Korea actually, and they ported it to America. And I have to say, again, that's America and EU. I actually have a friend that's over in the EU. He's the one that kept telling me about the game. To be honest, again, this game is really amazing, and I think any person that is interested in playing an MMORPG that really wants some like a fresh take on one, or even if you just want to try it, I would highly suggest anybody to go ahead and play this, because ArcheAge, to be honest, is really fun, and I'm gonna say that it might even absorb some of the MMO community from other communities because it's that good. The combat is pretty interesting. I like it. Decent. We got decent combat system set up. Some of these cities. Actually, I'm gonna come right up here and you can see the city. Now, as far as I know, from what I've checked, nearly that entire city is fully explorable. So it's just maybe like the very tip tops of the towers you might not be able to get to, but like anywhere else in that city, inside those walls, I've already run to. So it's really awesome how like, it's not limited. Like they don't have, like, say for instance, like a regular grid setup where you can just go to point A, point B, and point C, and that's it. This full city is explorable, and you can, like, go anywhere in the corners or in the middle or anything. So another 5 out of 5 for setting that up like that. And overall, I would highly recommend people to play this game, surely because it's a fresh take. And the story, the game itself is just really nice, and you see a little bit of that graphical issue that was going on a second ago there. But again, you get your labor points down here for your professions. You got your experience. Got your tabs down here. Now this right here, I don't like this. That's another issue right there. Directly implementing the market into the game like this, where it's just, I understand if they had it in a menu or something, you can do it, but to have it directly on the screen like that bugs me. Those are icons that I'm not going to use personally, so I would just take them out if I could. Um, yeah. So also, if you put your cursor on your health bar, it tells you your occupation. So I'm a trickster, the shadow play, archery, and witchcraft. Um, Tells you your health, your mana, PvP honor points, and your hostile faction kills. Now I haven't done PvP yet, but I am going to try before the beta closes. And I'm going to be honest, I myself am making an exception because I told myself I was not going to play any MMORPGs while I was doing my classes, and the leveling in this is decently fast because I've only played maybe like a day and a half roughly, and I was told that level 50 is the cap, and I'm already almost level 20 here. So you could definitely hit max cap within just a few days. Um, I'm gonna say I might actually add this game to my lineup for this fall season, at least. Um, I'm gonna end up doing some Destiny videos. So if this game comes out, I'm not entirely sure on the release on this game. I think it's like in a week or so. Um, but I'm gonna be doing some Destiny videos with some of my partners, and we'll end up getting those up on YouTube and Twitch and stuff. So we'll be doing Destiny. But other than that, I mean, I think I'm gonna be spending a majority of my time playing ArcheAge and Space Engineers. Um, Space Engineers because I'm on the hardcore server of a community that I'm an admin for, so I kind of have to be there. But I'd say ArcheAge is gonna end up eating up a little bit of my time as well. So it's definitely one of those really interesting, fun games that I would recommend to other people. And I know I'm a little rambling a little bit, but I just want to thank everybody for joining, and have a nice day.